All right, good morning, everybody. Although, actually, it's not morning anymore. Oops. Good afternoon, everybody. Phil here, and welcome to today's gameplay stream. Only one stream today, folks. Today is Saturday, July 22nd, 2017. But today is a momentous day, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the possible conclusion of my Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin run. And boy, has it been a journey. Let me tell you, folks. I've started playing this pretty much at the beginning of this month, right? Wasn't it the very first week of July? And it's been a 3-week run where on and off I've been playing the game. Well, you know, not really on and off. I'd say pretty consistently. It was only those days that I took off away from streaming completely that really I wasn't playing the game, right? So, yeah, folks, we're here, and this is pretty much the end game. This could be the end of the playthrough. Here's why. So, we've got a segment here where I'm going to be doing the Dark Lurker, alright? I'm still trying to understand how it works. Apparently, from what people were telling me, I have to go to 3 separate locations with the old man in the wheelchair, and in each location, I have to fight phantom NPCs and light a torch. From what I'm to understand, that's how it works. I'm not 100% on that, but I think that's how it works. Is I have to go to 3 separate locations and light torches at all 3, and then once all 3 are lit, then I can fight the Dark Lurker. I'm gonna have to confirm that with you guys here in stream chat because I've never done it before. Remember, my first Dark Souls 2 run, I screwed up and accidentally killed the guy in the wheelchair, so I never had a chance to actually do the Dark Lurker dungeon boss, and so, you know, this is the first time I'm trying to figure it out, alright? So that's number 1 on the agenda, Dark Lurker, alright? Then, once I've handled the Dark Lurker, alright, then I think I'm going to take on the Ancient Dragon, who was the other boss from the original Dark Souls 2 run, that I could never kill. I could never win. I tried like crazy. If you remember, I did. I tried for hours. It was about a 2-hour run on stream one day, 3 years ago, that I was trying to beat this Ancient Dragon. Now, keep in mind, that was the Dick Lightning build. That was me just running around trying to chuck lightning bolts at the Ancient Dragon. And I almost got it. I got it down to like 10 to 15% life at one time. And I was like, man, and then I died, and I was like, motherfucking cocksucker. Seriously. So now it's going to be very different. I don't have projectiles. I don't have magic. I'm all melee, and I'm going to have to try to figure out how do I kill the Ancient Dragon melee style. I don't know. Is it going to have insane health, or am I going to be able to do a ton of damage to it? I have no idea. What will be better? Will it be rapiers, maces, or power-stanced ultra great swords that will be more effective? I have no idea. So, not sure, but that's going to be number 2 on today's agenda, trying to take out the Ancient Dragon. Alright? Then, once I take out the Ancient Dragon, I'm going to get that final old giant soul, and then I'm going to go take on Vendrick. Now, this should be even easier than it was in my first run of Dark Souls 2, because now I'll have all of the old giant souls, allowing me to do maximum damage to him. I didn't have all of them the first run. I only had 3 out of 4, I think, or 4 out of 5. Whatever it is, missing the one from the Ancient Dragon, okay? So, that's on the agenda. Those 3 things, almost like a kind of boss rush today. Once I get all those fires lit, for the Dark Lurker, it's pretty much going to be boss, 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 okay? Now, after all that's done, then you've got the end game, the true end game, which is the final dungeon area of Dark Souls 2, which I'm not sure where it is. I forgot. But I guess once I kill Vendrick, I'll try to figure it out. And then, finally, after all of that, there's the final secret boss of Dark Souls 2, right? The new one added for Scholar of the First Sin, which I've never seen before, and I know nothing about it at all. Okay. Excuse me. So, pretty good. It should be a pretty good run today. I don't know if it's going to, again, is it going to fill the entirety of my 3.5-hour gameplay stream? Or are we going to finish early? Or on the flip side, maybe these bosses will be so tough that I won't even beat them today, and there'll be another Dark Souls 2 stream tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens today, over the course of today, and how everything goes, alright? Now, once I do complete this run in Dark Souls 2, the next thing I'll be starting up is a playthrough of Red Dead Redemption's Undead Nightmare DLC, okay? So, whether it starts tomorrow or Monday or whatever, that's the next thing on the agenda. So, I hope you're excited for that. People really wanted me to do that way back when, you know, when I played Red Dead Redemption a month ago. People were like, Phil, you're going to do it? You're going to do the Nightmare? And I was like, well, you know, at that point, I didn't know what exactly I was going to be doing during the month of July yet. I didn't want to commit to doing a lengthy DLC, because I know that DLC is at least 6 hours long. I think it actually is around 7 to 8 hours long, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, I didn't want to commit to it then, because I wanted to have time to do Dark Souls and all that. Now I definitely know we're going to have this final week of July where I'll be done with Dark Souls 2. So I should be able to do Undead Nightmare this week. I'm going to be covering the new Overwatch character Doomfist whenever he releases on PS4 this week. And 1 week from this Monday will be an Indies Marathon, where I'm going to be playing a variety of indie games as well. So a lot of variety and a lot of fun stuff coming up in the next week or so to end the month of July, okay? Alright. So what else is going on? Not a heck of a lot. Today, obviously, I'm doing my one gameplay stream of Dark Souls 2, and that's it. I have some other things going on later tonight. Later tonight, number one, I'll be uploading a new episode of DSP Tries It. I had a choice between either a new item from Wendy's or a new item from Burger King, and I asked my Twitter followers last night which you would like to see, you know, in the next episode. And I got a lot of good feedback, so today's episode is based directly on your feedback on Twitter last night, okay? So that will be releasing later today. Also, later tonight I'll be uploading more Ultra Street Fighter 2 matches from Monday. Monday I did a session of Ultra Street Fighter 2, okay? And I only uploaded like 10 matches of it because I knew there was other videos and stuff that people wanted to see, and I didn't want to flood the channel with too much of it. And I also realized that the weekend is when I only do one gameplay stream a day, so I said I'll save those videos for then. So I will be uploading more Ultra Street Fighter 2, alright, later tonight as well. So you have Dark Souls 2, Ultra Street Fighter 2, and DSP Tries It. Tomorrow, like I said, either more Dark Souls 2 or it'll be the premiere of Undead Nightmare. It all depends on how things go today with Dark Souls 2. Tomorrow night, I'll be doing the weekend preview where I'll explain this week in detail. More Ultra Street Fighter 2 videos tomorrow as well. Alright. So, a lot going on this weekend. And heading into the final week of July. Should be pretty good. I would like to say a few things. Let's see. Rest in peace to John Hurd. John Hurd, a very well-known actor from the 1980s and 90s. Most notably known for his roles as the father in the Home Alone movies, as well as a supporting actor in The Sopranos, HBO television series, as well as many other things. He was very prominent in the 80s and 90s. Passed away today. Rest in peace to him. He's a very good actor. Hasn't been anything in a million years, but he was he's got one of those faces and one of those voices. He could just walk into a scene in a movie from that time period, and you'd be like, oh, man, this is going to be a good one, because this guy's a pretty serious, good actor, you know? So, there you go. News out of Comic-Con today. I don't know how many of you have been following the San Diego Comic-Con news, which is this weekend. Lots of news. First of all, a ridiculous amount of a ridiculous amount of DC Comics movies have been announced, including standalone movies for The Flash, which is going to be about Flashpoint, the time manipulation storyline. There's already a fucking Justice League Dark movie being made, which is silly because they're just putting out Justice League. And now there's already a Justice League Dark movie, which is supposed to be more grim and about the darker heroes of the DC Universe. I'm trying to think, there was another big announcement, too. You know, the Batman, there's going to be a Batgirl movie, Will any of them be good? I have no idea. They could all suck, because the DC movies... Oh, Suicide Squad 2. I'm sure you're all fucking excited for that one. I cannot wait to see Jared Leto reprise his goddamn role as the Joker. I can't wait. Because he did such a snap-bang great job of nailing the character that first time around, man. I can't fucking wait. Alright, anyway. The other big news out of Comic-Con today is that Steven Spielberg is back. He's doing a movie called Ready Player One. It's supposed to come out next year, and it's about the future of video games. Yes, it's supposed to be about someone going into kind of like virtual reality. And in the trailer for this movie, here's how crazy it is. It stars the Iron Giant, Freddy Krueger, and the DeLorean from Back to the Future. So people saw footage of this at Comic-Con. They were like, what the fuck is this? And I guess what Spielberg is saying is that this movie is supposed to be a combination of video games and pop culture from like the 1980s and 90s. Which is pretty crazy. Yeah, it's like the weirdest shit. People saw this video that blew their minds. They're like, what the fuck is this? And such a mishmash of like pop culture. So, I don't know. I'll have to see what the hell happens here with this movie. But hey, when Spielberg's at the helm, typically, it's good. Every once in a while, there's a bust under Spielberg. Like last year, he did that fucking movie BFG or whatever. No one cared about a fucking good, giant, stupid animated movie. No one gave a shit, and it flopped. A rare Steven Spielberg flop. So, let's see how this goes, this movie next year. Whenever it's involving video games, I get interested, so. I guess we'll see how that turns out next year. We have more information. What other random-ass pop culture references will be in the movie? You gotta have Arnold Schwarzenegger in there at some point. If you're gonna have the 80s stuff, you gotta have, like, every action hero has to be in it. That'd be pretty random. It's like a final scene where all the action heroes of the 80s unite as, like, a protagonist team to take on the villains. That'd be pretty cool. Alright. So there's some random stuff out of Comic-Con I wanted to mention this morning. Alright. Alright, that's it. Let's do some quick plugs and let's just jump right into Dark Souls 2. Sounds good? Alright, so. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here on my live stream today. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you guys came out all month to check out the downtime stuff. Listen, I understand that during the summer months, there's no new releases. A lot of people, and let's face it, it's reality. A lot of people during the summer months don't come around because they're bored because there's not a lot going on in regards to new gaming releases. We're going to remedy that come August. But I want to say thanks to all of you who are around this month for the dead times, okay? I'm doing my best to entertain you during a time period with pretty much nothing new to play. And I hope that you've enjoyed, you know, what I have put out for you over the course of the last month or so. Now, that being said, if you like my daily live streams, you want to see them continue, you want to see the daily on-demand videos on YouTube continue, especially with all the new games coming out starting in August, right? You want to see me be able to, you know, cover all the upcoming new releases and everything. There are many ways that you can support my efforts. The first being Patreon at patreon.com/DarksidePhil, where your pledges basically directly fund everything. They pay for my electricity. They pay for the games. They pay for my internet. They pay for all the equipment in my studio, right? They pay for a lot of stuff. Recently, I've been trying to improve the freaking air quality in my house, and even just as simple as getting a few houseplants and things. It helps, all right? It does. So, please consider pledging if you haven't. It's not just about, you know, that. It's also the fact that you get personal perks, like getting text or verbal thank yous in my videos, getting your questions answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King, that will return in August. Maybe even getting a private Q&A video made, all right? I actually just did, a 3 private Q&A videos, actually, for patrons for the month of June. And they told me that they loved them. So, definitely consider pledging if you haven't. This month's goal, which you have now 9 days left to pledge, is a Patron's Choice playthrough, where if you pledge $5 or more, you can nominate and vote on a game that will become a full playthrough during the fall. okay? And unlike previous Patron's Choice playthroughs, I'm eliminating incredibly long, drawn-out JRPGs and visual novels from the running. That way we'll have more of an action-based game that people should enjoy watching, and it won't just be a tiny niche audience who enjoy watching it. And maybe some games that people have had in the running for this kind of thing but have always been eliminated will finally get a chance to be played, alright? So, we've got about 9 days left and about $100 left to raise, okay? So if you have not given it a look yet, please give a look to my Patreon. And please consider pledging. 9 days left to hit that goal and get that monthly goal going, alright? There's also my, what do you call it? Oh my god. Teespring. I have no idea why the word would not pop into my head. My Teespring, which is my merchandise store where I sell t-shirts, where I sell sweatshirts, where I sell mugs, all kinds of stuff with cool artwork submitted by you, the viewers, alright? In fact, tonight, if I get a chance, I hope I do, because tonight I'm actually going to be, doing maybe some new merchandise tonight. I have some new artwork submitted from Azure Studios, the same guy who made that cool skull logo that's very popular on my Teespring. So I may be setting up some new merchandise tonight on my Teespring. I'll let you know on social media if and when I actually get that done, okay? But yeah, give it a look. It's great quality stuff. It's a cool way for you to get, you know, some stuff for yourself that's like in-person kind of swag, I guess you would call it, right? Yeah, pretty good stuff. And I love it. From time to time, I wear the shirts on my streams. I actually haven't worn one in a couple weeks. I should probably wear one soon to kind of show it off again, alright? So, give it a look. Anything that you buy off my Teespring, I get a pretty good commission. And I appreciate everyone who has gotten something previously, okay? And now, last but not least, folks, obviously if you're here in person watching my stream on Twitch, the one direct way that you could actually support, you know, my efforts here would be through either cheering, subbing, or tipping me during the course of the stream, okay? If you cheer with bits, if you sub to the channel, or if you tip me, I will actually give you a verbal shout-out during the course of the stream. In fact, a bunch of people already have, and I will be reading your messages in just a moment and answering. A lot of you have questions. I'll be answering those questions in just a moment, alright? Now, if you cheer 50 bits or more, if you sub to the channel and click on the share button, okay, or if you tip me $2 or more, you'll actually get an on-screen notification which will give you direct visual recognition, okay? So it's like double recognition. You'll get not only a visual on-screen cue, but also I'll be giving you a verbal shout-out. I'm very appreciative to anyone who does any of those things. You guys have been awesome. Since March, when I started this more interactive kind of streaming, you guys have really been very supportive, and I'm very appreciative of that, so thank you to everyone who has done that, alright? Alright, let me actually give everyone some shout-outs now. Ready? Let me go all the way down here. Okay, so first of all, shout-out to Ratchafan, who did a $3 tip, and he says, sad to see Scholar the First Sin is ending. Thanks for the amazing playthrough. You have improved as a Dark Souls player, and it sure has been fun to watch. Well, let me put it this way. I played Dark Souls and From Software games, you know, so often now. Pretty much one major one a year. This year in case 2, right? I did Dark Souls 1 in January. Now I'm doing Dark Souls 2 in July. And I did the Dark Souls 3 DLC. So, I pretty much played every Dark Souls game this year, right? Yeah, that being said, I mean, yeah, obviously I'm getting better, but also it's just knowledge. Like, remember, keep in mind, when I started playing these games, I didn't even understand the leveling system at all. Now, you know, I'm able to master the build of dexterity and strength and, you know, getting the right scaling of weapons and now, you know, crazy-ass power stancing, doing insane damage. A lot different than my first runs, right? So I definitely have enjoyed playing it again. I thank you for the tip, and hopefully everyone's enjoyed this second run through it, alright? Mountain Honey did a 10-bit cheer. He says, I remember you used to do giveaways during the hardcore gaming season. Is there a possibility of it returning? I've explained for the past 3 years why there is none. It's very simple. There's two primary reasons, alright? Number one, because I don't have money anymore. When I used to do the hardcore gaming season giveaway, I used to be making a ton of money on YouTube. I was making 2 to 3 times as much as I do right now, and that's not an exaggeration. And so when I was rolling in dough, I could buy extra games and give out extra games. I could mail things across the world and spend $100 for shipping to give it to a fan, and it didn't matter because I was rolling in money. That was a long time ago. People seem to think back, and like I said, people think that like things are absolute. That because something existed once, it always exists. That's not the case. Things very much have changed. I don't make anywhere near as much money as I used to, okay? And in addition to that, the last time that I did a giveaway, which was, what was it, 2014? I'm not even kidding you. I spent, over the course of that fall, almost $1,000 on shipping. And I can't do it anymore, folks. I just can't. I don't have the money. As you guys know, I'm having difficulties here financially keeping up with my own shit. I have nothing to give away. I can't afford to mail stuff. That's just the reality of it, folks. Alright? So, no, there are no hardcore gaming season giveaways or whatever. Now, I have given away a few things when people have donated. For example, this year, I believe 1 or 2 game codes were donated to me, and I was able to give those away during gameplay streams. That's different. But, by the way, those were donated to me. I didn't have the money to just buy those and give those away. It was, what was it? I gave away a copy of Neo, and I gave away a copy of Injustice 2, right? So those were awesome to be able to do that, and I am very appreciative to the viewers who donated those codes to me for me to be able to give those away. But, you know, sadly, we're just not in a position where I could do that stuff anymore. Alright? Alright. Shout out to Golden Colts, who subscribed to the channel. Shout out to Patrick Starr, who's now banned from the stream chat, who's whining like a bitch. Play the game, play the game. This is the shout-out segment, which I do every stream. It would not be right for me to skip shout-outs to start playing the game because you're being a whiny bitch in the stream chat, so enjoy your ban. Shout out to Anonymous, who did a $1 tip and said, what is your thoughts on OJ being paroled? I don't care, dude. Are you kidding me? OJ Simpson? This guy's such fucking old news. The OJ Simpson, you know, arrest and trial was something going on in the 1990s when I was growing up as a teenager. Dude, I'm 35 years old. I don't give a fuck. I don't know why anyone gives a fuck, honestly. It's so friggin' such old shit. Alright. The greatest story never told did a 10-bit cheer and says, don't forget the double pursuers. It's a fun fight. Use a bonfire ascetic at the Drangleic bonfire. If people really want me to do that, I will. I don't see the big deal, though. Oh, no, it's not 1 pursuer. It's 2. Big deal. If you really want to see it, I'll do it. Shout out to Chairman Caleb, who did a 10-bit cheer, and he says, you are correct on fighting the Dark Lurker. You must go to all 3 areas, Drangleic Castle, the Shaded Ruins, and the Black Gulch. Kill all the phantoms, and then light the fire in each of these areas. Once all is done, you can fight the Dark Lurker in any of the 3 locations, and your effigy burns will not count for the chasm. People will still invade you there regardless. Well, I might have to sign out a PSN then, because I'd actually like to complete it today. I got another anonymous $1 tip. It says, how are the indie games that you play determined? Are they nominated? Do you get suggestions during the stream? I believe this person's talking about the upcoming Indies Marathon I'll be doing on July 31st. All those games were nominated and voted on by patrons. I believe it was May patrons who actually nominated and voted on those games. From what I'm to understand, there's one game that's like in the lead, and that one will definitely be played. But apparently there's 4 or 5 games all in a 5-way tie. So it may be at my discretion, because the thing is, the marathon typically starts around noon to 1 p.m. and lasts till around 7 to 8 p.m. So you're talking 6 to 7 hours of gameplay with a break or 2 in there. So there's potential to play maybe 3 or 4 games. I wouldn't want to play like 6, 7 games and only be able to play them for less than an hour each. So I may have to make a judgment call on what games I'm going to play during that stream. Okay? Excuse me. Excuse me again. Excuse me a 3rd time. Alright, shout out to Mountain Honey. He did another 10-bit cheer, and he says, I see movie reviews aren't happening. Is that because you don't have time for that? It's because I don't watch new movies. It's very rare when I do. I just saw Spider-Man Homecoming. That was the first new movie that I saw in like a year. I can't even remember the last new movie that I saw. Actually, I take that back. I saw The Ring 2. Not, excuse me, The Ring 2. Rings. earlier this year. And then before that, I can't remember the last movie I saw. I'm not going to review movies when I rarely see a new movie. And, let's face it, I watched that movie during my time off. I wasn't going to drop everything to fucking do a movie review. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for people to realize something, okay? Yes, I'm a YouTuber, but I'm not one of these YouTuber vloggers who does a wide variety of stuff. And although I do things like DSP Tries It and stuff, my primary focus is gaming. And so, yeah, game reviews of new releases and stuff like that. E3 coverage, yes. Pop culture coverage, I'm probably not going to do. Especially since YouTube ad revenue completely plummeted earlier this year. To put effort into that kind of video and time, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. YouTube is a fucking sinking ship for anyone who doesn't get millions and millions and millions of views every day. So, it's just reality, folks. I might talk about movies on social media or randomly in a video, but I'm not going to be doing random vlogs on movies and stuff the 2 times a year that I go to see it, okay? Okay. Shout out to SkySands89. Oh, excuse me, I skipped one. Shout out to Anonymous who did a $1 tip and said, during the Sparkling Justice segment, during the class trials, I guess he's talking about Danganronpa 2. The only thing I could think of was, and I thought Sid Justice was a psycho. Okay. Shout out to Shady Sands 98 who did a 100-bit cheer and says, have you ever considered suicide? I'm not taking the piss, I'm just gutted about Chester Bennington. For those who don't know, he was the lead singer of Linkin Park who just committed suicide. I don't want anyone else I've followed going anywhere. I know things are tough for you now. Dude, I'm not considering suicide. What are you talking about? You know, I'm not saying that there haven't been times much earlier in my life where I fought depression, because there were, and I've talked about this before in vlogs. I never went super in depth, but I did have to, I suffered from depression years and years and years ago when I was much younger, before YouTube. And, you know, I'm not going to lie, when you have depression, it never goes away. Every once in a while, it might come back. But no, I'm not anywhere in a bad situation like that. It's kind of a ridiculous question. I'm pretty sure you would know. I would be pretty much down in the dumps for me to be like that. No, I'm not in any kind of a situation like that. You don't have to worry about that shit. Silent General did a 500-bit cheer. Thank you, Silent General. I appreciate that. Mort did a $2 tip. And he said, again, this is probably a troll tip. He says, can you give Ferris Argyle a shout out? She is a huge fan of yours. I don't know who the hell that is, but whatever. Between a Cock and a Hard Place did a $1 tip and says, let's do this. My cock is ready. All right, always keep your cock at the ready. King Jezel did a 100-bit cheer and says there are 3 chasms you have to complete. The last one you beat is the one you have to do over and over every time you die to the Dark Lurker. That said, do not do the Black Gulch one last. Okay, I see what he's saying. He's saying, if you die to the Dark Lurker, you have to redo a chasm, right? So, okay, I get it. Good advice then. I will not do Black Gulch last. I'll do Drangleic Castle, then I'll do Black Gulch, and then I'll do the, whatchamacallit? The one in, what the fuck is it? Shady Woods or whatever it is? I guess you could do it in that order. Alright. Shout out to Dooley, who gave me a 250-bit cheer. Thank you, Dooley. I appreciate that. Thank you to Shady Sands 89, who did a 100-bit cheer and says, thank you for answering my question. I wasn't trying to be a cock. I didn't think you were, but you got to understand when you ask questions like that in public, a lot of people get freaked out. Like, oh my God, you mentioned suicide in public. It's like, oh, it's taboo, right? And let's face it, I've never really talked about that kind of shit. Because I'm not. I certainly would never be in a situation like that. I am of the mind that even as bad as things get, right, I know that suicide would hurt so many people, especially me being a public personality, too. That's the other thing you got to realize. I've been around the block, man. I've been doing YouTube for, what, 8, 9 years? I've got thousands and thousands of people who I know care about me. I know that because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, right? So imagine that. I know that if something were to happen to me that, you know, people would be sad. So I would never do that shit. As bad as things get, I would always be here to tough through it, right? That's kind of the thing that's been my shtick. Get through the tough times and just keep going. And then shout out to Darth Radovan Viking, who did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, I just want to do a 100-bit cheer that's normal. Have fun, Phil. All right, let's get off the depressing subjects. And let's get into gameplay. Sound good? Sound good, everybody? All right. People, Waterclass says, are you using meds? No, that's the thing. I've never been on drugs. I've never been like a hardcore alcoholic. You don't have to worry about that shit. All right. What a depressing intro to the stream. Oh, Golden Coast did a 95-bit cheer. He says, wait, I have to cheer before you start. Okay, there you go. I actually have one more sip of my V8 energy drink. I'm trying to finish it before I start here. Shout out to Silent General, who did a 100-bit cheer, and he says, someone who was close to me committed suicide. I will always try to help people who are depressed. Well, that's a good on you, sir, for helping out people who, you know, who need the help, because it's funny that I could tell you, I can attest to this. I know this is getting heavy again, guys. Don't worry, we're going to start with Dark Souls 2 in a second. I can certainly attest to this, that there are people out there who are acting perfectly normal and look perfectly normal, and they're really fucked up on the inside, and they just don't want to bother other people with that. They do their best to try to just live a normal life and not have that heavy shit go on other people. And they may not ask for help. There's a lot of people out there who are either ashamed or they don't feel like they deserve help, right? And that's what depression is in a lot of ways. It's just feeling so awful about yourself and everything about your life that you just don't want to bother others. You just want to become a complete fucking introvert to the point where you hate your life so much that you want to end it all. It's fucked up. But there, you know, people who reach out to others and help other people, you have no idea how much that shit helps. You really have no idea. And I'm speaking from personal experience. In my life, at one point, there was someone who reached out to me kind of out of left field just to be nice to me and friendly to me, that kind of pulled me out of my depression that I had. And this was over a decade ago, by the way. It's nothing. It was pre-YouTube and everything. I never really talked too much about it. But, yeah. Seriously, like, just being nice to someone or being friendly to someone or reaching out to someone could change their life in a positive way. You don't even know. People are like, oh, it's such a mundane thing to do something, say something nice to someone or be friendly with someone or whatever. You don't even know. You really don't. You really don't. I know it's not, this has nothing to do with anything I've ever talked about before on YouTube. It has nothing to do with anyone you guys know. So don't start fishing. Oh, it's John Rambo. No, nothing like that. All right. Well, shout out to Smart Weirdo 95, who just did a 600-bit cheer and said, bro, you need to watch the new Justice League trailer and the new Ready Player One trailer, Nerdgasmic. I actually talked about Ready Player One on this very pre-stream. You must have missed it. Well, Shady Sands 89 did another 100-bit cheer and says, sorry to bring everyone down. Dark Souls is kind of happy, cheery game that will lighten the mood. Oh, yeah, happy cheering for you. I'm the one who's going to get my shit pushed in here. I'm the one who's going to get fucked. You guys get to have fun. I get fucked up. Gee, thanks a lot. Yeah, Smart Weirdo, you missed it, dude. I talked about Ready Player One. I heard all about the trailer, and I was actually excited about it. All right. Everyone ready? Let's start. Dark Souls 2. The pre-stream now was going to be like 10 minutes long, and it's over 30 because I had so many cheers and everything. Which I am very appreciative of, by the way. I'm not complaining, guys. I like talking to you guys. I like being interactive. I like this. Okay? But I also don't want people to get all pissed off that I'm not playing the game, so. Alright. Let's begin.